Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 22. We're starting at the back of the grid with Fabio Quartararo, the most recent winner in MotoGP, of course, in the Sachsenring. So slipping up the inside of Darren Binder, Raul Fernandez and a few more as contact is made for the first corner. Things are getting hectic as we now go to the left-hand side. A very difficult track to get around and move out of the way for contact and carnage, and it seems Turn 3 always catches out a couple of riders. Is it going to happen here? Well, I'll be damned. Everyone got through without absolutely any carnage occurring, and that is absolutely great news. But we have dashed up into the top 10 positions already, starting with power setting 1 and starting at the back of the grid. What a great start, and we do have Pecco Bagnaia just ahead of us as actually we dive up on the inside and go to the left-hand side for Turn 8. So we'll now bring on the power to get in behind Jorge Martin and Joan Mir. Now, something I will have to mention, this is the pre-update, so I've done this video before the update came out, so the Prima Prama Ducati livery is not actually being updated within this video. Of course, I've got to try and record all my videos. Oh, massive contact there into Joan Mir. I don't think he's going to be pleased with that one, but the AI braking extremely early for the 12th corner here in the Sachsenring, and it seems I've done a lot of videos in the Sachsenring recently, from my own video with the helmet cam with Alex Rins to the Season 9 2009 game mode, because conveniently that's where we sort of found ourselves at the right time, and now even a little bit more with a few more videos yet to come. But now into Turn 1 for the second time of asking, going around the outside of Jack Miller. That would have been very impressive. We got that to stick, but sadly it didn't work this time around. But yes, brand new update for MotoGP 22, so if you weren't aware of it, you can check out my video that I've done just a couple of days ago with the latest update and everything that has been included. Now, I am yet to find any bugs as such, but I do understand that AI is not quite up to its highest level yet. But in this video today, the AI does give a bit of a fight towards the end of the Grand Prix. Now, the reason I think that is, it seems that the AI gets stronger towards the end of the races, and their tyres don't seem to degrade. They seem to stay at a very, very smooth, consistent pace no matter what lap time they're on. So I guess that's a good thing because it makes things a little bit interesting for us, but also it's a bit annoying because the AI obviously doesn't suffer entire degradation. But Fabio now with the move up on the inside into the left-hand side for the Saxon curve. That is King of the Ring fighting against the new King of the Ring. So former versus current now, as Fabio Quartararo takes over the title and gives Yamaha their first victory since 13 years ago with Valentino Rossi back in 2009. Very, very impressive, but that is a 1:19.361 for Fabio Quartararo just on the second lap of this German GP. We're bringing on the brakes and keeping it nice and tight there, or relatively tight, so still following the racing line, but I do rather prefer more of a tighter line, hugging the apex to the right-hand side there, but we didn't manage it this time around. But now into Omega for Turn 3, there is Marquez just behind us. Of course, we won't be seeing the 8 times world champion this season anymore, unless everything goes really well and he might come back from Valencia or something, but it does seem likely that Marquez will not be returning. And speaking of Honda in general, they are really, really struggling. The first time in about 40 years, I think it was, that they've never acquired a point within a MotoGP race. That is an absurd stat, and this was the very first time. Unfortunately, Stefan Bradl was the only man still on board the Honda by the end of this Grand Prix. Taka Nakagami, of course, crashing out again. Alex Marquez with a mechanical issue. Pol Espargaro battered and bruised, wasn't able to complete the race either. And of course Stefan Bradl having major issues with the heat and the temperature from their Honda with the Repsol Honda 213. And of course, absolutely incredible. The RCV is just a pig right now. It's a terrible, terrible bike. It seems everyone is not enjoying the time with Honda, and it seems the same as can be said for the Tech 3 KTM team, although both Remy Gardner and Raul Fernandez both acquired points in the German GP, so it's a bloody good effort if I do say so myself. But now a lunge up on the inside of Aleix Espargaro on lap 4. Aleix fights back, well, the Aprilia versus the Honda. Who's it going to be stronger going into Turn 3? Aleix, wow, really kept in nice and tight to the apex there. Now, something I want to mention as well is that the update from a few days ago mentioned that Aleix Espargaro's gear has now been updated to his 2022 form, but this is pre-update and it looks identical. I still don't know what they've changed exactly. It must be something extremely small. If you know what it is, let me know in the comment section down below. But now to the left-hand side for Turn 8. Quite the overtaking hotspot for DrAce, to be quite honest with you. I seem to have done a few videos now in the Sachsenring and always go for a lunge into that left-hander. I really like that corner, and Can't wait to do some more, so I'm hoping we can get Aleix into a turn 8 once again. Or if actually the 12th corner is beckoning a move from Fabio, and up on the inside we went, dropping it down into first gear and keeping it to the left-hand side there is Aleix Espargaro, just tempting a lunge back up the inside as we just cut the corner ever so slightly there, or at least cut the grass onto the left-hand side. But now for left-hand side once more, we're going to be bringing on the power. Aleix has got a lot of speed on board that Aprilia, and of course with us only using power setting 1 to keep this one entertaining, certainly keeping me honest at this stage of the Grand Prix, if I do say so. But now going to the right-hand side, a little bit wide for turn 1. Aleix Espargaro will capitalise, but it's going to be neck and neck as he just touches the tyre there. My MotoGP 21 instincts came in there. If you get touched when you're in a full lean angle like that, usually you just crash. So I tried to fight it and try and lift the bike up, but thankfully MotoGP 22 is not that brutal when it comes with a touch from the enemy, or at least from the opposition, let's say. But now to the left-hand side once more for turn 7. Espargaro still leading this Grand Prix on board the Aprilia, doing a stellar job if I do say so myself. And to the left-hand side for turn 8, not close enough for a lunge this time, but look how much we've closed in on the left-hand side. The turning of the Yamaha is something to be really impressed with. Oh, just touching the apex there, just sends it a little bit wide and got a little bit slippy for Fabio. It did, as we now go to the right-hand side, down the waterfall section for turn 11, and turn 12 could be waiting for another lunge. A bit of contact there as Fabio, I don't think he was impressed with that one, neither was Aleix Espargaro. Of course, the AI just brakes so slowly into that corner, or too early, as we now go to the left-hand side for Queckenberg. It's like me when I play a car game, always braking really early after being so used to bike racing in general. But that's another 119 lap, pretty consistent pace so far. 119.3, 119.2, 119.4 and 119.8. Of course, we did lose a lead on the last lap there, but we are now still right in the thick of it with Aleix Espargaro. And Marquez 1 second behind. Doesn't look like he can really get involved with this fight just yet. Jack Miller, Joan Mir behind, and a couple more Zarcos in the form of, a couple more Ducatis rather, in the form of Zarco Martin and Pecco Bagnaia. Oh, never mind, Zarco's gone down, and Zarco is out of the Grand Prix. But Brad Binder there in 8th position, and look how the lap times are heating up here. 0.3 of a second we are quicker into this sector, and yet we're still behind Aleix Espargaro. Turn 8 could be beckoning a move. Doing around the outside, that's a brave move. That is a brave and bold move from the French MotoGP World Champion and still Championship leader as of today. As we now go to the left-hand side for turn 10, Aleix is still there. But now to the right-hand side for turn 11, this beautiful apex there. You've got to really nail the apex there, otherwise you go wide onto the green. But this time we absolutely nailed it. Hard front looking pretty good at this point of the race, getting stuck on the rumble strip there, went a little bit too slow. When we lost all that advantage, Espargaro's still there to attack us into Queckenberg. It's not close enough yet, but to start this penultimate lap, things could get very interesting here. So across the line, it's another 119.3. It's a good lap time from Fabio Quartararo as we now go firm on the brakes for the first corner. Aleix Espargaro's there on the inside. We'll let him run wide, and then we'll go for the tighter apex. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful defensive positioning from Fabio after getting through. As Espargaro had a weird moment there. It looks like he was looking behind him to see where Marquez was. I don't think Marquez is close enough, as Espargaro was there again for the right-hand side of Omega. This is pretty interesting. So we are now on the penultimate lap, and the AI is still putting up a very good fight, yet the lap times have increased, or decreased I guess, because they are much quicker now. So it makes you wonder, why does the AI struggle so much at the start of the race compared to the end of the race? Not entirely sure why, but it is definitely evident in this Grand Prix today, and this has probably been one of my most thrilling races I've had in a while. I'm actually being kept rather honest here and riding not quite my best. Of course, I'm in power setting 1, but still it's relatively competitive at this stage of the Grand Prix. As we now go to the left hand side, dropping it down to second gear, then into first at the last point. Is Aleix going to have a lunge? Not quite close enough. We'll go firm on the brakes for the Queckenberg for the penultimate time of asking, and then it's going to be one more lap. What an incredible race it's been so far, but across the line it's going to be Fabio ahead by less than a couple of tenths of a second, less than half tenths of a second actually, as we go firm on the brakes. Oh, a little bit of contact with Aleix. Oh, Aleix is getting he got so out of shape there and out of control that Aleix Espargaro has gone down into the first corner, and that's his first crash in God knows when in the sense of a MotoGP Grand Prix. That was a disaster. No idea what happened there. I think he just braked on me. Did he brake on the rear tyre of Fabio, or did he get stuck on the rumble strip? I'm not entirely sure, but 0.7 of a second is the advantage for Fabio, and I think we've got the job done. Or do we? Is Marquez going to do something dastardly in the final couple of corners here. I don't think he's closing us somewhat. 0.6 of a second, 0.7 of a second. We go to the left-hand side for turn 8. Still close, but we are getting a little bit out of shape here. The hard front still feel a bit odd. It doesn't really have as much stability as I thought it would at this stage of the Grand Prix. I felt like it would be the better choice. And I was also trying to stick with the realism as well, with going for the hard front and medium rear, just like Fabio did in the Grand Prix a couple of days ago. We're now into the Sachsenring, into the Saxon curve for the final time of asking. The Sachsenring GP is now coming to its completion as Fabio Quartararo wins here, just like he did in real life a few days ago, and that is another victory for DrAce. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below, and also chat to me about the Grand Prix itself. I'd rather enjoy a good conversation about MotoGP. But upon that note, guys, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.